Yes, good evening, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and today is Wednesday. I hope I've got it in the right way. Yeah, so today is a Wednesday, and we are lucky to get time to come and have a discussion. To our viewers, this is the second session that we are having. There was one that we had, which started at around 7 p.m. Kenyan time. And today we were lucky to host mjukuu, anajiita mjukuu wa rais. So we hosted him and he gave us his take and what he thinks. If maybe you did not get time to watch that, we request you to also have a look at it. Yeah, so to my guest, Mr. Miguda and Mr. Barak, feel welcomed. This is with the Benson Media. To our viewers, those are the comment section. Nanyi pia nachukua hii fursa kuwakaribisha na nawatakia kila laheri na nawahakikishia ya kwamba hapa ndio mahali mnafaa kukua. Before I continue, allow me to take this opportunity to give a chance to my panelists to say hi. Yes, Mr. Barak.
Hello and good evening to all our viewers and to my co-panelists and Miguda and Marco Bura. So nice to be here. So nice to see you tonight. And welcome to Brother Benson Media. It's always nice to see you join us and engage us as we continue with our session. I'm looking forward to having a constructive and engagement. Asanteni sana.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda.
Greetings to all our viewers and my co-panelist. This is Brother Benson Media. Here we say your opinion count. For those people watching us for the first time, kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can give us your like, you can give us your thumbs up, and also kindly you can watch the hard video. Karibuni sana.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda and Mr. Barak. Maybe before we proceed, there's an issue that is trending. It has been trending for some times. After the election of the new president, of the United States of America, we have the ambassador here in Kenya from US. Currently, she's no longer ambassador. We're being told that she resigned. Maybe before we get into that discussion, I want to give you a chance to just clarify to us what we should expect when it comes to, since the new government is coming in order in the United States of America. So maybe you can just give us what really we should expect as a people and the changes that we might see before the official handing over to the new president-elect, Mr. Donald Trump. I understand that he'll be sworn in 21st of January. So just a little bit of what you understand, what would be going on from this period to 21st of January in the United States of America. And Biden is still the president. Which powers does he currently have? And what can he not do at this point? Mr. Barak?
Well, thank you so much, Mark. We have in the incumbency power. When the president, we have a president-elect, and we also have a president in office, who is now the outgoing. His powers are normally limited. I'm not sure about the American Constitution, but if I compare with the Kenyan Constitution, because we borrowed heavily from the U.S. Constitution. The president, the incumbency power the president cannot appoint. He cannot make state appointments because he's outgoing. So the new president, the incoming president, is the one who can he's now shaping his new government, and you can see Trump is busy appointing his team. So far, he has appointed a few cabinet secretaries. I believe he has appointed a secretary of state. He has appointed a secretary of defense and a few other individuals. So he's shaping up his government, because he's the government that is coming up in January, from 21st, I think.
Hello, Mr. Barak, can you hear me? I think he is frozen. Maybe should give him time to rectify. Yes, Mr. Miguda, what do you have to say about what is happening in US as Barak is trying to fix his internet?
The United States of
This
America,
remaining, yeah, on this remaining period, what are the the presidential powers that Biden still holds as we wait for the swearing in of Mr. Trump?
America, sometimes it's referred to as the land of the free because of the brave, and they believe in democracy, the democratic process. It's a culture in the United States of America, and most of the country in Africa, outside Africa, have been emulating United States of America, and that's why you find some of our provisions of the Constitution are borrowed from United States of America because of their culture of democracy. Currently, from the time they went to, after the results were declared and Trump was declared the president-elect, there's that window which usually is open for transition, usually called the transition period, and it is enshrined in their laws. Transition Act. They have the Transition Act, whereby it spelled out our president-elect will get into office once he has been declared as the president. He can get into office after he's going to be sworn in on 21st January. So what's going to happen between the time Trump was declared 21st January? There are a lot of transition going on. Trump sometimes can appoint his administration, and the power of the president-elect is limited, but it's more of the same like the president. You can't have two presidents at the same time in one country. There must be one president at the same time. At one point, you must have one president. So what's happening right now, there are some amendments which were done to the Transition Act. We remember during previous elections in the United States of America, when members of the public breached the Capitol and they went to protest against the election of Biden when Trump was defeated in the elections. And there were so many questions because by that time, Trump was the president and Biden was the president-elect. Now, there were some powers by the president, because now if we have the president-elect and the president has gone against the provision of the Constitution, who is the head of state? Who do people listen to? Who can even dissolve the Congress? Such questions arose by that time. So they introduced office of the president-elect. That is one of the amendments which were introduced in the Transition Act. And when Biden was declared president-elect, he was given a certain office for the president-elect. It means now Trump was the president, but Biden was the president-elect, and there was office of the president-elect. That office of the president-elect was mandated with some functions that he can do while the president who is in the sitting regime, maybe sometimes he might have some cases in court, maybe he has violated some constitutional provisions. Now that power was given to the president-elect to take the role of the president, because sometimes that president has some gross violation of the Constitution or has violated serious crimes, the way you have said, international laws. Therefore, if in that circumstances, the president-elect will take the role of the president. And that's why in the Transition Act, there was that provision of the office of the president-elect. So I think from now, to 21st, we have Trump as the president-elect, and their functions as the president-elect is allowed to do by the law, which is in the Transition Act. And 21st January next month, but one, he will be the president of the United States of America.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Megoda. Barak, I don't know if you're there. You are
Yes,
giving
I'm
us
here.
something.
My network was interrupted.
Okay, you can continue kindly before I play a clip here.
Yeah, I was saying that we borrowed heavily from the U.S. Constitution. So because the president-elect is preparing to take over the government in January 21st, so he's now recruiting his soldiers. Because you cannot go to war alone. You must go to war with soldiers, trusted soldiers that will help you to deliver, to win the battle. So Trump has already started preparing his soldiers who are going to help him deliver to the people of America, who has given him the mandate to serve them for 4 years. So that is why you see he's making some. He's just proposing that I'll work with so and so, because once he's sworn in, he will send the nominees to the Congress for approval, and that's how the Constitution works. So there's a lot of time. That's why you see, America transition takes a lot of time because there's that preparation and everything. But I believe we are going to see many changes in terms of. I'm not sure. I don't think Trump is going to spare anybody who is serving under Biden's regime, because according to him, this whole regime is a big failure to the people of America, as opposed to Obama when he came in 2009 January. Also, he retained the Secretary of Defense. But I don't think if Trump is going to retain anybody from the Biden's regime. So he has a responsibility to constitute a government that he believes is going to deliver to the people of America. And once a president has been elected and you are serving in this current regime, you know that your fate has been sealed. So that's why you see people resigning here and there, because they know that either way they will not be in their job after Trump has taken oath of office. Trump being a radical leader and so very ruthless, I believe he's going to crush many people who are working under Biden's regime. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. There's a clip that I wanted to play here for resignation. Actually, the topic of today is we are having a discussion on who Meg Whitman was and why she decided to, resign. So I want to play a clip here.
Both her team and the U.S. Embassy and outgoing President Joe Biden. Her resignation comes days after Republican Donald Trump was elected U.S. President. Whitman was appointed by Joe Biden, who is a Democrat. Let's get more from our very own Melita Olentengis.
In her 2 years as the U.S. ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman has cozied up to the government of the day, choosing to adopt a different stance from previous envoys of her country, who, though cordial with government, were critical when needed. In her resignation statement, Whitman pointed out that she serves at the request of the U.S. president, a subtle acknowledgement of the changes in her country. Republican Donald Trump trounced the Democratic Party's presidential candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris. Whitman says, and I quote, "Like all U.S. ambassadors, I serve at the request of the president. The American people have spoken, and a new president will be inaugurated in January. I wish him and his new team success." The American business mogul turned envoy, highlighting key achievements during her tenure as U.S. ambassador to Kenya, from delivering emergency funding to tackle the devastating floods in 2023, to contributing to the ongoing battle against malaria, HIV, and Mpox. Whitman emphasized that the U.S. government remains committed to Kenya's health and well-being. She also points to the landmark elevation of Kenya as America's first major non-NATO ally in sub-Saharan Africa, saying, and I quote, "This year, the United States elevated Kenya as its first major non-NATO ally in sub-Saharan Africa, reflecting the importance our countries place on standing shoulder to shoulder to protect our shared democratic values and enhance security." However, her tenure as U.S. ambassador to Kenya was not without its controversies. Her statement calling Kenya's 2022 elections as free and fair sparked a backlash from then opposition leader Raila Odinga, who took issue with her assessment.
Tell the rogue ambassador, Kenya is not United States. Kenya is not a colony of United States. Keep your mouth shut.
It would be very ungrateful for us to vilify the people who are creating opportunities for us. We have 200 billion investment from the American government.
Tensions between Whitman and Odinga eventually eased after Odinga and President William Ruto found common ground, aligning their political interests. However, the U.S. envoy has of late come under attack on social media, especially after the Gen Z protests, with a section of Kenyans criticizing her cozy ties with the Kenya Kwanza administration, especially in the wake of abductions and disappearances of youth who participated. The rights violations have been blamed on the President William Ruto-led administration. Whitman's political journey has been anything but straightforward. A former Republican, she ran as the party's nominee for California governor in 2010, but lost. Yet, in recent years, she shifted her support to Democratic candidates, backing Hillary Clinton in 2016 and Joe Biden in 2020. Her substantial...
Yes, Mr. Barak, I believe you've watched the clip, and so I'm coming to you. You know, first, the reason why Meg Whitman, the reason why she resigned is because, first, we are not so sure we will want to hear from you and your take. You know, the people of Kenya had problems at many times with the said ambassador, you know. And, you know, immediately the Americans elected the new president, that is Mr. Trump. Kenyans were really excited, and, you know, the ambassador of US was actually trending. People had to say so many things that at least we will now not have an ambassador who, you know, supervises things. She was being looked. Some people commented that she behaves like a co-president in the Republic of Kenya. You know, some people, there were so many funny comments from the people of Kenya. And the reason being is, I think, the stand that at some point she took. You know, she had controversies everywhere. If you can remember, Raila Amolo Odinga had a problem with her stand at some particular time. And that even made the supporters of Raila not to really have a good say about her. So my question to you is, why do you think the people of Kenya actually made the US ambassador to trend? And could that be the reason why she felt some pressure to maybe resign? Mr. Miguda.
The former US ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, though he used to be a Republican candidate in 2010 when she was running for governor of California, but when she aligned her allegiance to Democrat, that is by supporting Hillary Clinton 2016 and Joe Biden in 2020, respectively. Meg Whitman as declared in her statement when he was resigning that he was working under the request of the President of the United States of America. So it means that she was here working for Joe Biden. And you understand, by the time we came from elections, she declared that elections were free, fair, transparent, as if she was the IBC commissioner and she was just a US ambassador to Kenya. And that you can tell even when she wrote some statement through US embassy in Kenya that people should not, the US citizens should not visit Kisumu before the court give its determination about the presidential petition in 2022. So she was working under request of Biden, and she's one of the people who supported finance bill, and she said that finance bill is good for the people of Kenya, and she forced it on the people of Kenya, and even she offered through Biden, William Ruto, a state visit to the United States of America, where they went with William Ruto, and that's how they came with finance bill, which was drafted somewhere in Washington, D.C. So that we can tell you that this ambassador was working under the request of Joe Biden, the former president of the United States of America. And the interest of Biden is what Meg Whitman was serving this country, and the interest of the Democrat. But now we have a new president from Republican, Donald Trump, and just like she has stated categorically in her statement that she was under the request of president, therefore she was only serving the interests of Biden. Now Biden is off in the office and we have a new president. There's no way she was going to remain to serve the interests of Democrats who are not currently in power. And during her time in Kenya, we experienced some unprecedented character which we haven't seen from the previous US ambassadors while they were serving this country. Remember, this is the first time we are seeing a US ambassador. She was more of a Kenyan citizen, and she was more of an elected leader in this country, because she was even going to inspect projects, and you saw her sometimes in Homa Bay County, you saw her sometimes in Kisii County. She was moving across the country, inspecting some project and also articulating the policies of Mr. Ruto. So she was linking Ruto and Biden administration, and she was acting as if she's one of the leaders elected in this country. So it was obvious that she was to resign because we have the new regime, that is the Republican, and most of the ambassadors who are aligning with the Democrat policies of the Democrat president who is going now out are going to resign, majority of them, because, even it is the president who appoint ambassadors, and the president also has that power to fire. He can either hire them or fire them. So it was obvious that Meg Whitman was going to leave the country. Now the question could be, all the promises they made to William Ruto, all the effort they try with William Ruto while they visit US with Biden, are they going to be implemented now because Biden is out of office? So are they going to be implemented? And lastly, we talked about the people of Kenya were celebrating when Trump came to power. You understand the mood of the country. People were against President William Ruto. And William Ruto was viewed as an ally to Biden. Now they wanted anything that can make Ruto to collapse. And one of the reasons, his major ally is gone. That is Biden. Now we have Trump. And people were now happy because even Meg Whitman, people were not happy with Whitman when she used to make such utterances. Now it's like William Ruto has lost one of his allies from West. That's why people are very happy.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Barak, what is your take on what would maybe, the people of Kenya went to social media and they said, and they threw everything at the ambassador. Some of them really celebrated when the US elected President-elect Mr. Donald Trump was declared the winner. And some people are saying that at least the people of Kenya are free. Some people are saying that the ambassador was like a prefect in our republic, and that she even had power she had some powers that people do not even know where she got the powers. So my question to you is, why do you think the people of Kenya did not really want the ambassador? And why is it that they took the little opportunity they got, they actually went to social media, and it was trending in Twitter, in X Space, and X Space is one that is owned by one Elon Musk, and we're also being told that Elon Musk has also been appointed by the new president-elect, Mr. Donald Trump. So it looks like the message got home, and she just decided to resign. And maybe there's something to notice. There are no specific reasons for her resignation as the U.S. ambassador to Kenya, but we've not really gotten publicly detailed information why she did. But it is common for ambassadors to resign or to be reassigned when there is change in administration or leadership. And I think in this case, her resignation follows the return of, Donald Trump as the president of America. So, what is your take, Mr. Barak?
Well, thank you, Mark. I think an ambassador is a representative of the country that has sent him or her. And when Meg Whitman was here, she represented the interests of her president, because they're usually called his or her excellencies, because they are representation of the president of their countries, and their primary job is to represent the appointing authority. So everything that she was doing while she was here, she was doing that on behalf of Joe Biden, who appointed her. Because if an ambassador misrepresents the appointing authority, they're usually recalled. And so she was just an extension of Joe Biden. Ambassadors world over, that's how they behave. So if her behavior is in line with her appointing authority, she will stay as long as that appointing authority is still is in office. But because she knows, Donald Trump is against LGBTQ, against policies of enforcing developing countries to adapt policies to protect the interest of LGBTQ. And that is a major thing that the Democrats are advocating for worldwide right now. You remember they even tried to threaten Uganda here and Ghana when they passed anti-LGBTQ laws. So Meg Whitman being a Democrat right now, he representing the interest of the Democrats, she could not even wait for Trump to be sworn in, because she knows that she has no life at all after the Democrat candidate lost election. So we must understand first that you remember how Ruto became the president. There was a lot of rumors that the American hand was there, was visible for him being the president. And since Ruto became the president, Meg Whitman has always been vocal, supporting Ruto's policies. And remember when she declared that elections were free and fair, she was not the one speaking. That was Biden speaking. And immediately she said that, you remember, Biden invited Ruto for a state visit to the US, to Washington. So it shows you that she was just advocating for the policies and the ideas of Joe Biden. And now that the Democrats, Joe Biden is retiring because she did not vie, so she's retiring. She's going home on January 21st. So once they are out of office, even now Ruto becomes so vulnerable because the people who made him the president are no longer in office. And you know, the new ambassador who is going to come in, he's also going to represent the interest of Donald Trump. That's how it works. So he will come here, he will advance the interest of the American state and the interest of the appointing authority. That's why Meg Whitman had to call it a day. And since she was just waiting for 1 month or so to be sacked, so she took that bold step and resigned because she knows her fate has already been sealed. So in terms of Kenyans liking her or not liking her, I think it depends with the political affiliation, because those who support the president believe that Meg Whitman was one of the best ambassadors we have had in this country. But Kenyans who have been who supports Raila Odinga, they believe that Meg Whitman interfered even with the election of Kenya, electoral process of Kenya, and she has been behaving like that Kenya is an extension of the US, like Kenya is the 51st state of the United States of America. The way she has been behaving, the way she has been advocating for Ruto's policies, the way she has been praising Ruto. So she has been seen as someone who is interfering with the internal affairs of the Kenya as a state, which is interfering with internal affairs of a democrat, of a sovereign state, which goes against even the United Nations statutes, even goes against his ambassadorial role. But now, let us look at also the previous ambassadors who have been here. If you remember when Kibaki was there under Nusumkate government, we had one called one ambassador who was called Michael Ranneberger. Michael Ranneberger used to interfere with the running of the government, the coalition government. And if you remember, there's one day when I think I don't know which holiday was it, but it was a state function at Uhuru at Nyayo Stadium, and Raila came out and said that Kenya is not an extension of the US, so Ranneberger should focus on representing the US and not interfering with the running of the Kenyan government. And if you also look at the history of the struggle for multi-party democracy, look at the role of Smith Hempston, who was the then American ambassador to Kenya. Smith Hempston, he was even one leading protest against Kanu regime, forcing Moi to allow the return of multi-party democracy. And even at the day that President Moi, called Smith Hempston a fool because of the role that he played in ensuring that Kenya allowed the multi-party democracy to come back and opened up the democratic space. So American ambassadors in the history of Kenya has always been vocal on the day-to-day running of the government. So if you imagine if American ambassador is leading protest, at the same time, he was even hosting those who are fighting for multi-party democracy at his home, so that he can shield them from being arrested by the Kanu regime. So you can see that America has played a very critical role in the growth and development of democracy in Kenya, not just now, but since the struggle for multi-party democracy. So American ambassador to Kenya, they normally represent the interest of their government, of their country, their government, and the appointing authority, who is the current president of the America. And since Meg Whitman knew that she cannot find favor before Trump, she decided to call it a day before Trump becomes officially the president of the United States of America. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Barak. I want to take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of Gypsy Corner. Thank you so much, Gypsy Corner. KK, asante sana, umepotea sana KK. Brenda Obedi, thank you so much. Eric Ayaga, thank you so much. Kisumu Newsline TV, thank you so much. And everyone at the comment section, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate. This is Brother Benson Media. If you're new, we request you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we will really, really appreciate. To my panelists, something else that I also wanted to hear from you is, she has resigned, and she's been in Kenya for like 2 years or so. And while she was leaving, she said that she believes that she did her best. And I just wanted to ask you this question: that the U.S. ambassador to Kenya, who just resigned, she highlighted several achievements in her tenure, which includes advancing trade agreements, that is between Kenya and the U.S. She also talked about enhancing health initiatives uh, and also strengthening security partnerships. She also emphasized on a people-centered agenda, which is aimed at saving and creating economic opportunities to the people of Kenya. My question to you, Mr. Miguda, are you in agreement with her achievement, the ones that she did highlight? And if maybe you can give us you can pinpoint some of her achievement that you saw, you as a Kenyan citizen, because she said that trade agreement is one thing that she really ensured that she did. Something else, enhancing health initiative, strengthening security partnerships, uh, you know, emphasizing on a people-centered agenda, things to do with democracy. Are you really in agreement? And what can you say about the achievement of the outgoing US ambassador?
I'm in disagreement with whatever she highlighted. As a Kenyan, I'm dissatisfied with her role while she was serving in this country as a ambassador to the United States of America. The reason could be maybe she has compliment from Biden, she can have compliment from William Ruto, she can have compliment for those people supporting William Ruto, because with them, Meg Whitman was the best ambassador Kenya has ever had in the history of Kenya linking with the United States of America in terms of ambassador appointment. So, but to me, she has totally failed because the reason could be now Biden is gone, and some of the projects she's highlighting, some of them has not been implemented, because even there was promise made by Biden that he will travel to Kenya after elections, now as the president of the United States of America. Now elections are gone, Biden is no longer the president. How is he going to come to Kenya? There are some policies which has not been implemented. They are waiting for Biden to be re-elected because they were preoccupied with the elections. So they have to wait for some time after election so that they can implement some of the policies. When she talks about issue of trade agreement between Kenya and the United States of America, that was just an agreement which was drafted down, and it was never actualized. It was never implemented. So that was just something on the draft, and there's no way they have implemented it. When she's highlighting the issue of health facilities, about their initiating the health facilities, Kenyans have been complaining about health issues. Kenyans have been complaining about the new introduction of the current cover. It means that if at all she could have advanced effort on the health initiative in the country, Kenyans could have not been complaining. Even you have had members of parliament in the legislature, they are complaining that some of them do not understand, and they're the same people who voted for that bill to pass, to be law. Now you ask yourself, what have they done? What is it that these guys have done? Even the outgoing ambassador of the United States of America. When she talk about the issue of security is at large. Let me focus on the internal security. There's no way she can praise herself to have dealt with the issue of insecurity in the country, but even the citizens who are unarmed civilians are being abducted. Some are being killed, and some are being even slain, and some have not been even captured today. So it means that the issue of security, I don't understand. Maybe she's trying to say that Kenya being a major ally of US in terms of non-NATO in the sub-Saharan, but what about the security of the citizens of Kenya? Our security as the citizens of Kenya, that one she has failed. So most of the things she has done, maybe she has pleased the master, that is William Ruto, and the one who appointed her, that is Biden. But as things stand right now, first, even she tried to interfere with the democratic process of the country, because she stated that elections were free, fair, and transparent. But the question could be, if our elections were free, fair, and transparent, why did we go to Supreme Court? And there were some letters circulating in the social media from the US Embassy that do not visit Kisumu, because Kisumu was being, so is coming to the country and try to separate us. And us, we are diverse as a nation, whereby we believe in diversity. And there's no way you can come and declare Kisumu as a no-go zone for the American citizens because of the political differences. So she's trying to separate us, but as we believe in one indivisible country, that is Kenya. One nation, one flag. We don't know things like Kisumu. We do not know things like Muranga. So this, a foreigner who is coming to interfere with our democratic process, our democratic space, and they are forcing us to align with the dictates from America. Even Meg Whitman supported the finance bill, and she was very, very bitter with Gen Zs. She said that finance bill must pass because it is for the best interest of the country. Now, which is of the country? Does it mean that it was the best interest of the Biden administration or William Ruto administration? So, and finance bill was unpopular across the country. So this was someone who was working at the administration of the William Ruto and Biden, and whatever she has cited to have completed during her tenure, that whatever she wants people to compliment about, those are reserved for William Ruto and Biden. That's why people are very happy when she resigns, because people do not need her in this country. The way people do not need William Ruto, the people do not need Biden. That's why people are very happy to see Trump winning. And why Trump won, one of the reasons could be Trump was anti the canon knowledge against the order of the nature, while the Democrats have been advocating for the you can have canon knowledge against the order of the nature. So those are one of the reasons that contributed to Trump winning that presidency.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Miguda. Mr. Barak, while the ambassador was, while she was resigning, she also said that, according to her, there are so many achievements that she has gotten, and she highlighted several achievements, including, advancing trade agreements, enhancing health initiative, strengthening security partnership. She also talked about, emphasizing a people-centered agenda, which is aimed at saving lives and creating economic opportunities, for the Kenyan people. My question to you is, as a Kenyan, do you really feel that she did something? Can you really relate and say that truly she did something, especially those that she has highlighted? What is your take on that, Mr. Barak?
Well, I think she did something. She did something in terms of trade. If you remember, remember I told you that she really acted like one of the representative of the Kenyan government when Ruto visited the United States, and they went to meet the business leaders in various states of the US, and she was really speaking so passionately about the opportunities, investment opportunities in Kenya. And she really sold Kenya to the Americans like she was one representing the Kenyan government. In fact, she spoke so passionate about Kenya than even Ruto, who was present in that in that tour. So I believe she tried her best to help Ruto, to market Ruto to the American business community. And I believe, even though we might not feel it as at the grassroots level, but I believe that the elites, her being one of them, and Ruto being also one of them, they felt the impact, because when those deals come, it is the elites who benefit from those deals. You know, her being ambassador, and remember she was a very big businesswoman in the US before she was appointed ambassador to Kenya. So she understands how to cut deals between government and private sector. And I think that is why she's taking credit for that. And she also represented her country well in terms of ensuring that they really interfere with our local affairs. They usually say that America is the world prefect. So she really monitored Kenyan affairs very well, in representing her country. So even whatever she's talking about the health, I don't know what, maybe the system that Shah is using belongs to the America. You never know. That's why she's saying she advocated for health, because even the system that the Shah is using, we are not sure where he is purchased from, and because he's not even effective. I don't know if you've tried to access that system. It's not effective. And I saw yesterday they suspended the CEO. So it shows you that there's a lot of things that are happening in the health sector, that when the ambassador takes credit for it, you can relate and say that maybe that's why we've been experiencing all these problems. So to them, it's an achievement, but to us, it's not an achievement, because she has represented her country well and her president very well in terms of ensuring that we do not make strides in ensuring that we have access to healthcare, especially to among the poor people. Because when Meg Whitman is representing the interest of America, I can assure you the poor person does not have a space in that interest. It's just between her and her government and the elite in Kenya, because these deals are always between the government and the elites. That's why you see her taking credits, and you are wondering, what is he talking about? It is because the elites has benefited, but the common man at the ground, at the grassroots, is suffering. And in terms of security and partnership, for Kenya to be considered as one of the non-NATO allied, and it is Biden who endorsed, let me just say, appointed Kenya to be a non-NATO allied. And that's a huge thing in terms of security, and also being a strategic regional partner, because in the Eastern Africa, I believe that it's only Kenya who has that status, and that status comes with a lot of responsibilities for our security sector. I believe that even the military also get some kind of some facelifting and modern equipment dealing with the security and the terror and terrorists, so that they really represent and the interest of the US in terms of fighting terrorism. Kenya being a strategic partner of the US, so it believe that it's going to benefit a lot. And maybe they've even benefited. We don't know that maybe it's not in the public, because your security sector is very sensitive. So many things you are not told, or what's happening on the background and everything. So in terms of us succeeding in representing, there is her succeeding in representing the interest of the US. For me, I believe she really succeeded in representing the interest of the US. But we Kenyans, I don't think we can even feel that she did anything important, because she's not there to serve our interest. She's there to serve the interest of the United States of America and her appointing authority, who is the president of the United States of America. So that's when he listed, he lists those achievements. Biden will agree with her that you really did your job very well, and congratulations. And they wait for the next ambassador to come to Kenya and continue with the same trend. I can assure you, you should not expect anything good from the ambassador, because his ambassador is not here to serve us. He's here to serve the interest of their countries. So when we expect too much from this ambassador, I think we are missing the point. And that's why you see we criticize them, because we expect them maybe to even say maybe take an example of a finance bill. You know, finance bill was an IMF bill, and IMF and World Bank, those are Western financial institutions that are used by the Western powers to continue to oppress developing countries and hinder them from developing. And that's why when they develop a finance bill for you, it's not for your own interest, it is for their own interest. That's why you will see a lot of taxes, and the people will continue living in abject poverty. And when you get a salary, almost over 50% is taken by the government to pay taxes. And to them, and they say that now you are on the right track, you are on the right track. But you, who is now facing the music, you feel oppressed, you feel you are being choked, and you are almost dying. And to them, they say now you are on the right track. So that's why she was saying that the Finance Bill 2024 was good, because it was their document. IMF and World Bank, those are Western institutions who continue to oppress developing countries and give them ideas that can make them not to develop, but to continue in the cycle of dependency, to continue depending on these developed countries. Because if they allow you to develop and become like them, then they will lose that power to control you. You know, you can only dominate and control someone who depends on you. But when these people, someone becomes dependent, becomes independent, then they can no longer depend on you. So that is the point. They cannot allow us to be independent, because they want us to continue depending on them. And that's why she praised the finance bill, and that's why she even will praise another finance bill if it aligns with the IMF's requirements. And you remember, even IMF apologized to Kenyans for having come up with a finance bill that we rejected. So it shows you that it was not our document, it was their document. And that's why she was supporting it. That's my take.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak. My last question that I also wanted you to give your opinion on is, what do you think was the relationship between William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, and the outgoing President Biden? Because under this, under for around 2 years or so, or 3, we've seen, the US has been very supportive to the President, Ruto. And within that period, that is when Kenya was actually admitted to be, part of the NATO thing. And so my question to you is, are we going to expect the relationship that was there between the Kenyan government and the US government to continue, or it is going to change? And should it change, with the new president coming, that is Mr. Trump? And again, there's also some rumors that, the Trump administration, they have started, inviting guests who will be attending the swearing in. And we're being told that William Ruto, so far, the President of the Republic of Kenya, has not been invited. And so my question to you is, do you think that the coming government of Donald Trump is going to stand again strongly with the Kenyan government? And if so, the government of Biden, they were really supportive, on the issues of Haiti. Kenyan police are currently in Haiti, and they've been getting support from the US government. The US, the Kenyan government has been helping several countries like Somali, and the US has been very supportive. And are we going to see this continue with the coming of Mr. Trump, with the new president, or what should we expect, Mr. Barack? Miguda, I don't know if you're there.
I'm here.
Okay, maybe Miguda should go first then, because Miguda, kindly give your opinion on that.
No,
Are we going to see this coming government supporting, the peacekeeping in Haiti, in Somali, that the Republic of Kenya is trying to do? Or with this coming government, everything is going to change? And are we going to see the relationship that we saw in the last that the outgoing government, with the Kenyan government? Or it is something that we should not really expect? Mr. Miguda?
I believe that the two will work together. There's no room for divergent when it comes to, there's no room for convergent. The divergent when it comes to administrative work. This government, there's how they link the African government and the West government. This how they link, and issues to do with, for example, security, those are independent, and they will proceed on with the Ruto's administration, excuse me, or Trump's administration. Reason could be, you remember when Uhuru Kenyatta was the Kenyan president? Uhuru Kenyatta worked with 3 presidents of the United States of America. Obama was there and Uhuru Kenyatta visited.
I think it's muted. Barack, maybe you can give your opinion. I don't know what's wrong with it. You can come in, Mr. Barack.
Sorry, what was the question again, please?
The question was, we've seen a very good relationship with the outgoing government led by President Biden with the Republic of Kenya, to an extent that they've supported Kenya in peacekeeping, in Haiti. They've also supported Kenya in peacekeeping, in Somalia, in South Sudan, in Congo. And so my question to you is, with this new government coming in, are we going to see that? And something else that we've also noted is Trump's administration that is coming in, they have started inviting presidents who will be attending, the swearing in. And so far, we've not seen our own president. So my question to you is, are we expecting a different relationship with this government that is coming with the current? And should they come, are they going to continue supporting the Haiti peacekeeping, the Somali, or it's something that is going to, to end?
Thank you, Mark. I think we have a very a bad perception on inaugurations. We are used to having a very big inauguration here where we invite heads of states and they line up at Kasarani and they speak and they say so many things. That's not how America does their inauguration. I don't know if you've watched some of the inauguration. No, even foreign head of state speaks. And I remember even when Obama was elected the president, and even Kibaki gave Kenyans a holiday, Kibaki was not invited to that. He never went to that inauguration. He was here. And American inauguration is about America. It's not about foreign countries. They usually say that foreign countries will be represented with the ambassadors, what they call foreign missions in Washington, D.C. And they don't give room for foreign heads of state. So this is just, I think this is just a social media sensation that has nothing to do with people who don't understand even how American foreign policy works. Americans' inauguration is about Americans, and they don't give room for foreigners even to be part of it. Once you are represented by the ambassador, that's all. And if you can even go back to history, in 2009, when Obama was being sworn in, I remember, the minister for, I don't know, some people went from the government to the US, and Kalembe Ndile took us TV to the Foreign Affairs Ministry because he said that these people are going to the US to watch Obama being sworn in on TV. So he assumed that they don't have a TV here in Kenya. So he was donating his TV to them so that they can watch it while they are here, because there was no need of taking a flight from Nairobi to Washington, D.C. to watch Obama being sworn in on TV, because there's no room for you at the inauguration venue. So this issue of Ruto not being invited or not being invited, to them is nothing. It's not important. And even inauguration is in January 21st. I don't know, 20 or 21st. So that should not be a big issue. Obama was sworn in twice without a Kenyan president being there, and it did not affect Kenyan-US relationship. So to me, I think that is not even an issue that people should worry about. Now, in terms of Trump supporting Kenya in Haiti, I think we are the one who are supporting America in Haiti, not the other way around. Because remember, we are in Haiti, courtesy of the US. They are the one who are funding this mission. So we are the one who are supporting them, because we are there to advance their interest. Kenya does not have any interest in Haiti, but America does. That's why they coerced Ruto to send more than 1,000 police officers to Haiti. So we are there to help America, because they withdrew from Haiti, and now they are using a developing country who does not have money. Because when Ruto heard that there's some 40 billion somewhere that they can get, he quickly said that he's ready to send his police officers to Haiti. So we are there to support the interest of the America. And if Biden believes that that interest should be continue to be supported, he will support it. Because I'm telling you, American president is about the American interest. And Trump told you very well that America first. And his policy is to make America great again. So anything that aligns with American interest, he's going to support. But anything that does not align with American interest, he's going to scrap off. And so many policies that even Biden signed and are in place right now, if they are not in line with American interest, I can assure you he's going to revoke them. But anything that is in line with American interest, he will support, and he will partner with any president that is working towards advancing the American interest. Even it doesn't matter which part of the world, as long as the American interest is being advanced, he will invest in that and he will support. So even in Kenya, if Ruto will align himself with American interests under Donald Trump, I can assure you they will work together to advance that interest. It has nothing to do with the outgoing president or the incoming president. It has everything to do with the American interest. And American interest comes first in any engagement, be it regional, be it global, be it national. Their interest comes first, and the rest comes last. That's my take.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Miguda, I don't know if you're there. You can finish your submission before we close.
I was saying, I'm sorry for that. American, it doesn't matter, not only America, but internationally. There are these even issues to do with public international law. There's how these laws, they converge and they diverge. That's how administration works. So once you are the president, that's why we have seen people like William Ruto congratulating Donald Trump for being elected. Even if today William Ruto can be re-elected in 2027 and Trump will be in the office, Trump sometimes might congratulate William Ruto. And once you are in office, you work with the president who is elected across the world, because you can sometimes visit that foreign country, and that head of state will be the one who will be hosting you. So there's no need of you not congratulating that head of state. What I was saying is that there's no big deal, because even Uhuru, who worked with the 3 presidents of the United States of America, he visited the White House like 3 times. He went there and met Obama, who was a Democrat. But when Trump came to power, he also went there and met Trump, who was the president by then as a Republican. Then later he met Biden before he quit his politics. So it doesn't matter whether you are Republican or you are a Democrat, you are an head of state. Once you are an head of state, you must make sure that the interests of American people are served first. That's why if you follow their campaigns keenly, both the Republican and the Democrat, they usually appeal to the people that America first, America comes first. You know, when you appeal to the public that American come first or American interests come first, the people will like you and you are likely to be voted in office because you are being perceived as someone who has put the interests of the country ahead of any other global countries because they want America to come first. They want to maintain that they are the superpower forever. That's why if you can ensure that their interest comes first globally, not only within the citizens but also globally in terms of ranking internationally, they will give you that mandate to serve them. That's why there is no any beef or there is no any differences between these head of states. Once someone is in office, you can only differ in terms of maybe regionalism or someone may be taking positions when it comes to international wars. But when it comes to issues to do with trade, issues to do with security, and also, you know, Kenya is a member state of the United Nations. The United States of America is a member state of the United Nations. So they are sharing many things in common with the United States of America uh, state. So there is no way you can say that if we have a new president who did not support the previous president, they're not going to work. They must work because there are many even platforms they are going to meet. Platforms like UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, they are going to meet as the member state. And you know, even Kenya, we have even links with the International Court of Justice, International Criminal Court, and even we have been charged there, some of our members, and American people or American state also have the proceedings in those courts. So there are so many issues when it comes to diplomacy, when it comes to international relations, that you are limited. There's no way you can not work with the United States of America regime, because even if you are rebelling and you are one of the members of the United Nations, there is room that will at one point you must meet as head of state. So William Ruto is even whether they were in good terms with Biden, but now he has no option but to work with Donald Trump, and they're going to work with Donald Trump unless otherwise.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak and Mr. Miguda, for your time. It was great, being in this show with you guys. We really appreciate our viewers. This is Brother Benson Media. We also thank you so much for taking your time to be with us. And for those of you who engaged us at the comment section, we really appreciate. We are grateful. So, Mr. Barak and Miguda, maybe your last remarks as we close. Anything pending that you want to tell the people of Kenya before we close? Your last remarks?
Well, thank you so much, and I'm so very much grateful for the support from the comment section. And I've seen so many comments, and we really appreciate that. My last word that I can just say that is that I don't know why we are very much excited with the exit of Meg Whitman, and hoping, I don't know who is making people think that American ambassador is really going to do anything significant for Kenyans. They are here to represent their countries. We elected the government to serve the people of Kenya. So if you elected this government, and now you are hoping for a miracle to happen so that they can get out of office, I'm really sorry. I'm really sympathize with you, because once you elect a government, Americans just elected their government. Trump as the president is going to form a government that's going to serve them for the next 4 years. So once 2028 comes, they will elect another government. So we elected ours in 2022, and we are looking forward to elect another one in 2027. So let us focus on holding our government to account, and let us not expect miracles from the US ambassador or whoever, because this is our mess that we brought upon ourselves, and we have to deal with it, so that we take elections very serious going forward. And American ambassador, whoever is given that position, they come here to serve the interests of their countries. They don't come here to serve our own interest. They will only castigate us if we are not doing according to their own interest. If we are going against their interest, they will castigate us. And if you look at the history, look at during the Cold War, when we have two major powers in the world, the US and the USSR, America never condemned dictators in the world. In fact, they were working with the very dangerous dictators, the likes of Mobutu Sese Seko, Daniel Arap Moi here in Kenya. Moi was detaining people at Nyayo House, and when Moi went when Moi went to the US in 1987, you remember the then American president say that Moi was the best president in the African has never seen. And the same American president, when the end of Cold War came to an end in 1990, and in 1991 they say that Moi was the worst dictator in the world, and Moi had to be dealt with, and that's why they instructed the ambassador to lead demonstration against Kanu regime to ensure that Moi allows the multi-party democracy to return to Kenya. So it's all about them. It's not about us. So we have to ensure that we put our house in order. We elect a president who can serve our interest. And when he appoints ambassadors to these foreign countries, those ambassadors are going to serve our own interest, so that we also become like Americans, because we are all sovereign states. And if America can instruct the ambassador to serve their own interests, why not our own Kenyan president do the same, so that even our ambassadors, when they are also out there, I was expecting our ambassador, when Trump was shot in his campaign, to condemn that and say that he can even issue a travel advisory to Kenyans from traveling to the US. Do they have the balls to do that? So it shows you how vulnerable we are becoming as a society, that we are hoping that an ambassador will come and help our government to become responsible. When we have parliament, we have a judiciary, we have the executive, that everybody is just there earning salary for doing zero. And then we expect foreigners to come and help us manage our country. My fellow countrymen, let us become serious, and let us hold our leaders to account, and let us ensure that we vote in leaders who can serve us according to our expectation, and not voting leaders based on emotion. Then at the end of the day, we expect foreigners to come and help us when things are going south. Thank you so much. As I finish, thank you so much for your time. Gypsy Corner, I really appreciate your comments and your support, and all other viewers who commented, and we really appreciate you. Continue supporting us, continue supporting this channel, continue liking and sharing and commenting on our sessions, and let us grow together as a family. And until next time, have a blessed night, a blessed day, a blessed evening, wherever you are. And may God bless you so much, and may God bless the Republic of Kenya. Asante.
Thank you, Mr. Barak. Miguda, what are your last remarks?
Makufura, thank you so much. Barakas just said that things are going south. I thought he was going to say that things are going west, because where Meg Whitman is going back to west. Anyway, to our viewers, we are very grateful for coming into our channel, and we appreciate a big thanks to all of you. Most of those people are participating in the comment section vigorously, and we like it because it's an indication that all of you are part of the discussion, and we are getting feedback, positive ones. That is a good head start. To conclude my point about the Meg Whitman resigning, going back to West, Meg Whitman, just like any other person, when a new regime came to power, like the one for Trump, and Trump is going to realign with this new administration, the one who is going to come into the country, or the ones which we are used to, they have been having, American people or American administration have been having invisible hands in the affairs of the country. But with this one of Meg Whitman, we saw visible hand. Now, she was practical, she was genuine, and she was articulating the interest of America publicly without any fear of any consequences, unlike previous ambassadors who have been articulating those issues behind the curtains invisibly, so you could have not realized that it's the American people who are here. So this one is a lesson to us that the American people, they put their interests first whenever they are. It is America that comes first, then the rest of the world coming behind them. See you next time, Akobura. To our viewers, bye.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barak, Mr. Miguda, and for everyone who watched. We are really grateful. We thank you so much for your consistent support in one way or another. And to our new viewers, this is Brother Benson Media, and here we say that your opinion counts. If you're new here, we request you to kindly like and subscribe to the channel, and we will really appreciate. I want to take this opportunity to thank all those who commented, all those who viewed, all those who watched. We are very much grateful, and we kindly request you to continue supporting us with while watching, commenting. We will really appreciate. I now want to take this opportunity to wish you a blessed evening, a blessed night, a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you so much, and taking this opportunity to wish you all the best. Tuonane kesho majaliwa. Asanteni sana.